gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages,
Woo!
the boys are back with another week, and this week we are talking totally NEOPro 2, giving our ratings, recapping the show, and definitely giving our grades at the end. This is the Piledriver Podcast. I am the best in the world. Down below me is my tag team partner, the Big Dog. To my left is the trio of VRAG. And kitty corner is our special guest, James. Welcome to the Piledriver Podcast. First time guest, long time friend of the show.
Glad to have you on, brother.
Ever since coming back to Ohio, I've gotten familiar with you guys, and you guys are a cool bunch, and I'm not just saying that. And so it's my pleasure to be on tonight.
It's an honor to have you on. We had the honor of watching NEOPro 2 last night with you. What a night. I know you can agree with that from top to bottom. It was an action-packed night. We celebrated 1 full year of NEOPro wrestling, and what a memorable night it was. It was a long night, but it was worth every second.
Every second.
It was.
I can't wait to break it down, boys.
Great show last night, man. And let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. I know Vince has got his notepad ready to go. I know he's itching. All right. We started the show, us as VIPs, not just us, anybody that bought VIP tickets. We're treated to a special pre-show match, 6-man scramble. I can't even remember everybody. I know Vic Weiss was part of it. Tyler Jordan was part of it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
We got Sidney Von England. You said Tyler Jordan. We had Alex Melee, Zay Garcia, and Nipsey Nash.
The Bodega Bully.
And Vic Weiss.
No, this was great.
Phenomenal match, man. It was solid. I mean, I'm familiar with a couple of these wrestlers. Some I knew, from going to AIW with Vince, and some that I've known for quite a while, actually, like Sid Von England. So just to see people that I, wasn't familiar with come in, and then, like I said, to see some familiar faces. Just all around scramble matches are fun, just general, because you never know what the fuck's gonna happen. There's 6 people in the ring all the time. So,
and let's be honest, we've seen a lot of pre-show matches in our time. This is probably one of the best pre-show matches I've ever seen.
110%.
It held up with the rest of the card too. It set the tone for the night. And it did a damn good job.
No, I agree with that 110%, man. The only thing I will disagree with about it is Go ahead.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, there's probably like a delay or a lapse or something. But the one I was most impressed with, because all of those cats were new to me. For the past around 2 years, I had been working a job out in Wyoming. I was trying to keep tabs on the Midwestern indie pro scene. But to say, there's some newer faces, newer names, I'm not familiar with, that would be an accurate statement. All of the, let's be honest, they're newbies. They're still going through training there at AIW. Some greenness is to be expected. But the one who probably impressed me the most was Tyler Jordan. I was like, wow, this kid's got it.
Yeah. He definitely does.
Nick in the chat.
He's a security. Nick, how's your head doing, man?
Yeah, I did get a sick picture of Nick. I'm gonna send it to him. But when they we'll talk about this later. They brought out some belts, and I got a nice picture of the belt, courtesy of the head security guard, Nick. And he got a little picture where he was getting his little strap on, like he needed a tag team partner. So
Jill,
maybe.
What's going on? Glad you're here. Ellie, what's going on? Joey, my co-host. If you guys are video game fucking fans, me and Joey Schneider co-host the Press Start Pod. Glad to have you on, man. Hope you had a good vacation. Check us out. But
I want to be on the Press Start Pod this week.
Do it, man.
It's on Thursdays, though, ain't it?
Yeah, Thursday nights.
I'm busy on Thursdays.
8, 9? We can make it
turmoil.
Let me throw a little spice in here. So we're talking about this pre-show match. So, a lot of these guys, like you said, newer. I think out of all of them, though, the one I was most impressed about was Alex Melee.
Is that the video game, dude?
That was the video game.
Yeah, dude.
PlayStation, video game. I've been seeing him in and out for a while now, and really lately it's just gone up and up and up. And the one thing I want to point out, when he did the little tightrope walk to get away out of the corner, that was cool. I hate to say it, that was cool. I love that. So keep it up, Alex. Thanks for saying what's up at Sheets last night. We saw the whole pre-show match when we went to Sheets last night before we left. They were all just chilling, getting some snacks.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, great way to start the show, man. I wasn't, like I said, I was rooting for a couple people in this one. There was two specifically that I wanted to walk away with the W. Neither one of them was able to. Tyler Jordan or Vic Vice, both of men I were the most familiar with in this match.
Yeah.
But the Bodega Bully walked away with a victory here. Essentially, I want to say stunning the crowd, because the crowd was behind a couple of the wrestlers there, and he was definitely not one of them.
Well, we all thought Vic Vice. I think we all can agree. We thought Vic Vice had that in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, he literally cross-roaded Alex over on top of Zay. Off the second rope. He just whoop. It was awesome.
It was awesome. That was a damn good pre-show match, honestly.
Yeah.
It set the tone for the night, and we got spoiled with that one.
Yeah, NEOPro in the chat. Yes, we started a little late this evening. We were running behind. We had some computer issues.
Yeah, we did. We're all right, though. Tim, what's up? We love you, man.
Tim's in the chat. Caitlin's in the chat. Nick talking about getting kicked by Jexy, which we'll get into a little bit later. Don't tell him. You missed it. NEOPro missed it. Don't tell him. They're not allowed to tell him.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you missed it. Nick's in trouble, though. Nick's in trouble if they find out.
I want to know this. I want no smoke. All right, so the next one was Matthew Taylor versus Dom Guarini.
Uh-oh.
Dude. This was amazing. I don't even know where to start, really, but besides the fact that Dom literally looked at Mike, pointed at Mike, and said, "This is for you."
Piledriver!
And pile drove Matthew Taylor into the fucking mat.
Dude, you see this comment, right? You see this comment right here? Nick's going to get in trouble.
I'll just watch the replay. You should watch the replay.
Sorry, Nick.
A little rough, do
The funny frozen shower. No, after that show, we're talking with Wilbur Whitlock lately. Something Wilbur said, and he's dead on.
James,
was that
you sound like a robot, brother. You sound like a robot.
Oh,
no.
That's why James sounded like a robot.
James.
No, but I'm just going to piggyback. I wasn't sure how this match was going to. I knew it was going to be really good. Just because story-wise, it was kind of a weird matchup. It was random. But God, man, this delivered more than I expected. Matthew tried doing the mind games. He wanted to play it. Dom wasn't having it. Like I said earlier, we've been spoiled throughout the whole night with many pile drivers. We had that moment. It was fantastic, dude. Jexy got involved. It was my I knew once I seen the announcement that this match was going to go hard, but it blew my expectations away. I was on the edge of my seat the whole night.
James is back.
Ayo.
No, it was a good match.
Yeah, first we had Vince Freeze, and then you lost me. Go figure. But no, hey, real quick, Mike and I were talking with Wilbur Whitlock after the show for a brief minute. Something Wilbur said, which I agree with 100%, was that Matthew Taylor and Dominic Guarini, I mean, that type of a match, that could be a main event on any card in the Midwest. So for the fact that was the dark match excluded, that was kind of like the first official match on the card. Yeah, I mean, what a way to start.
And like I was saying earlier, I lost you there. It was a random matchup. There was it wasn't story driven. So when I seen it, I was like, I knew it was going to go hard, but I was still like, all right, this is kind of weird. But it fucking delivered. It was everything I wanted to be and so much more. Molly, hey,
I was gonna say
Shout out to
Lexi.
Dom, her kid.
Lexi had to leave for an injury. I hope everything's okay.
I hope so too.
Real quick before we jump out of this, because I'm gonna put it, and I got exclusive permission from the boss, Mr. Figueroa himself. All right, about this.
Did you forget about Salem? I did forget about Salem. My bad. I did forget about Salem.
I got exclusive permission from Mr. Figueroa for this.
Okay.
At the next NEOPro show, the Piledriver boys are allowed. I mean, we're allowed to bring in signs. Anybody's allowed to bring in a sign. I got exclusive permission so that we can bring and draw race boards, like small ones. We can't bring in a giant one, obviously, but we can bring in a small one so that we can make our own signs and erase them.
Oh, we're definitely doing the 3 numbers.
We're rating finishing moves like the NBA Jam dunk contest.
Yes.
You give us a pile driver, we're gonna throw up 10s.
Oh yeah. If you give us a Piledriver, I know you told me, Nick, but I had to make sure. I asked the boss.
Dan, I agree. It was an amazing show. Man, Ivan too. Phenomenal show. Honestly, I'm just gonna straight out say this is the best indie show I've ever been to, and I'm so excited to talk about this. I've been waiting all day.
Look at
this
these
is
guys.
This is the second match, and we're already saying that. This is
bring in light brights. That would take too long. Too many pegs. That's too many pegs. That would be too much.
Extra sketches, dog. Like,
if you got skills like that to just bust out an extra sketch like something crazy.
I'll bring a light bright, bro. Dustin was going on, man.
I mean, we can bring a light bright if with a we already made it at home, ready to go with a certain thing.
Oh no, I'm quick with it. I'll bring the sheet out. Boom.
You just got to bring an extension cord, right?
Yeah, someone's give me an extension cord. I'll make it work.
All right.
Yeah.
Unless the newer ones are battery operated.
I
want to see it getting used too, smashed over somebody's head, just a light bright.
Justin Alexander in the chat. What's up, brother? How are you? Can't wait to see you back.
No, honestly, yeah. I know we're just getting into it, but NEOPro 2 is the best indie show I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah, no, it was a great show, man. It was a great show. And like I said, we will, like always, do our ratings at the end of the show when we get done. Nick said he's got plenty of extension cords for your light bright. So bring your paper and your multicolored pegs. It is on.
I'm bringing them. First one I make is I love you, Nick.
So I know we talked May 11th face off in Parma, Ohio. RSW will return. We'll talk about that. That will be coming up soon. We'll get into that soon. But I don't think we talked about it. I mean, we talked about the sweet ass Piledriver that we got where he pointed right at me and was like, "Hey, Piledriver motherfuckers, Piledriver."
Yep.
Great shit. Love that. I love that. I mean, if you're a local Northeast Ohio wrestler, I guarantee you that you've seen one of us 3 at your local promotion. I guarantee it. We probably have a Piledriver shirt on.
We've been there.
So Piledrivers is what we want to see. That's what we're here for. Just be safe.
Be safe.
But
I mean, we're here for wrestling in general, but you want to get a Piledriver.
Did get the Piledriver off. He didn't get the win.
He didn't.
Matt Taylor able to slide in there and get that W.
But it wasn't because of Matt, though. I'm not going to say
Davio.
We know, and we'll talk about it.
Hey, yeah, we got some news for you, my boy.
Oh yeah, stay tuned for a little bit. Don't go nowhere.
Dom caught that mist in the face, man. That was. So I'm not even going to say Matt won on his own accord. He had his help.
No.
He had his help.
I was going to say,
he definitely had an assist.
He always has his help. That's what you have to worry about. You have to worry about that gospel of light when you're wrestling Matt Taylor, because you're not just wrestling Matt Taylor. You're wrestling Chexie Black. You're wrestling the Beast Man, and you're wrestling Sam Hardway Holloway.
NEOPro, don't even get me started on tables. we won't even go on tables.
At one point last night, Bree looked terrified.
Yes.
Yeah. At the same time, she's like, "How am I going to sit?" It's like a man.
So,
it's like a matter of
Matt Taylor able to pull out the win here.
Yeah.
So good W for Matt Taylor. Like James said,
I agree, Lexi.
This could be a main event anywhere. So for that to start the show and for it to be a hell of a match, Matt Taylor to get the win, big W there.
Set the tone.
Look, Sean said, wrap it up. I got a podcast. Hey, calm down, Jeff.
I love you, Sean.
I love you too, bub.
You owe me a child support payment.
Hey.
What did we have next, Vince?
Izzy Lambert versus the Vibe, Bray McKenzie.
Kaylin, I know what you're talking about too. I know exactly what moment you're talking about.
Oh yeah, he told me all about it. He
yeah.
pulled up next to me and told me he almost shit his pants.
You won't do, dude.
No, the match that Vince is talking about, this next match, Izzy Lambert versus the Vibe, Bray McKenzie. This match is one that has been brewing since NEOPro 1. It has been just everywhere. Like just everywhere. Every time they go to Salem, Stark County, wherever NEOPro is, if Izzy and Bray are there, they're fucking fighting.
Yep.
Mary.
I don't understand like why it's taken this long to book this match, but I'm thankful that it happened at the anniversary show because in my opinion, we got an ending to this story. We got a conclusion and now, these men can move on their own separate ways and go,
And the payoff was
it was good. I mean, let's be real. When Cherry came out, I was scared for Bray. But then Bray got a hold of Cherry and it was game over.
I was hoping Bray was going to come out with a pink kendo stick.
I was too.
Tell me that would have been sweet.
That would have been so awesome.
I do remember that now that they say it. That they were coming out to fight and Bray got whooped. He came out first and Izzy just came out and whooped his ass. And then there was no match ever. He just injured him or something. I do remember that now that So I mean, great match. So and like Vince said, great culmination. Once Bray got a hold of that kendo stick, dude. Once he got a hold of Cherry, there was no stopping him. Just 365 days of hell, like pent up fury unleashed at that point in time.
Oh yeah.
Bray able to here. It's the new cliche in wrestling, so I'm gonna say it because it works out perfectly here. Bray able to finish the story and get the win over Izzy Lambert here.
And the crowd was lit. Well deserved. Shout out to Bray McKenzie.
Yes.
Earned himself a nomination for Piledriver Wrestler of the Month with that win right there.
Yes, you did, sir. I mean, not only that win. We lost James again.
No.
Not only that win though. Not only that win. He beat Dio Salvador last week on Turmoil. Yep. Bray's been showing up to Turmoil. He's had 3 of the greatest, probably the greatest Turmoil matches I've seen since I've been doing commentary with Dio Salvador. They had a match. Bray won the first one. Dios won the second one. And then they just last week did the rubber match, man. And it was great.
Yeah.
So it definitely earned a nomination for Wrestler of the Month.
Michelle says she wouldn't have taken those kendo shots. I wouldn't either.
I'm going to try to keep James under me this time instead of moving it. Maybe we'll.
The only kendo shots I probably would have ever took is if Sandman was like, hey, I'll let you get a video of me hitting you with a kendo stick. Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead, lay it on me, brother. That's the only time I'll take kendo stick.
Matt Ward, what's up, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Hope you're having a great night. No, I'm not taking a kendo. That was a.
You wouldn't take a kendo stick shot from Sandman?
Oh no, from Sandman, not from just.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only way I would ever take a kendo shot. If Sandman was like, "Hey, I'll let you get a video of me hitting you with a kendo stick," bet.
So you have enough, and this is a compliment. You have enough mass. I think you could sustain that. I think a kendo stick hits harder when you're a scrawny guy like me, or maybe a thinner guy like Bray.
Yeah. Bray, Bray on the Twitter Live. Bray from the Twitter Live. All love. I appreciate you all. Bray, again, great job last night. Great dub. You're a great dub.
You deserved it. You deserved it.
Yeah, Matt, you missed Matt Ward in the chat again. It's a dope night. I heard NEOPro was tremendous. Yeah, man, you missed a great show if you weren't there. Phenomenal show. Jared, we're gonna get into that. Jared talking about the Sandman who was at NEOPro last night. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, great match. Bray able to finish his story, able to finally close this chapter of Izzy Lambert in his NEOPro career, able to move past it and kind of maybe focus on, moving towards that heavyweight title. Maybe moving towards that heavyweight title.
Love it.
I'm about it.
But yeah, so great win by Bray. That was awesome. And then really we went right into an even heavier match. This was Andrew Palace versus Justin Maine versus Alex Daniels. This was not. This was like at the start I didn't know how to feel about it because it was like you just saw Justin Maine just staring at Alex, and I was just like, "What is going on?" He looked like a lion, like just ready to just attack, pounce.
I didn't know how to take it at first, but it grew on me. Like I'm low key here for heel Justin Maine.
Yeah.
He was all about that business. And
he was yep. I was just about to say he stood on business all night, dog. He walked out just normally he comes out, he fan pops a little bit. He
cold shoulder, went straight to the ring, sat down, and just waited.
He sat in the corner, very DDP-esque, if you remember. Like he sat in the corner, just kind of arm on the rope, leaning, and then he did the whole pull-up thing on the top rope to get up. No, Matt, we're not in Youngstown. I'm not checking in with TA. This is the Piledriver Podcast on Sunday. He didn't even check in before he came into comments.
We love you. We love you, TA.
We love you, TA. But no,
as soon as all three of those guys came out, I knew it was going to be a stellar match because, I mean, all three of those guys, I've seen them in, singles matches in other places with other opponents. But so when all three of those guys, by the time they were done coming out, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And it was.
Man, it was last episode. I said this is possibly my match of the night. It could go down as match of the night. And it went.
It went. Okay. It went. There were spots in there that I loved, like the spot where Alex hit the pose on both of them. And they kind of just like stood there. No, Tim, you didn't send it to me. How am I going to get the card? You don't send me the card. But there, Alex Daniels hit the pose and both men like stood there and didn't know what to do. Like, Andrew Palace's like, I don't know what you call it. The excitement, the
energy. He's high
energy. Yeah. Love it. Love
him.
I love that he runs out to the ring like Ultimate Warrior. I love that. It's one of my favorites. I mean, obviously you can see by my tattoo, I'm a big Ultimate Warrior fan. So, but yeah, Michelle said the three-way was a lot of fun. Alex is so fluid. Justin seems so chill, and Andrew's wild. Justin's great. Like Justin, we've seen Justin in singles competition multiple times since NEOPro has started, and he's been phenomenal every time. Like the match between him and Alex Daniels, had Alex Daniels not gotten that concussion at the last show, man, that'd have been a 5-star match because Alex Daniels getting concussed threw it all off. And it wasn't as good as everybody wanted it to be. But both of these men are hella good technical wrestlers.
Yep.
Justin winning was a surprise to me, if we're being honest.
No, not at all. I mean, like I said,
I was
when he was ready. He was hungry.
Look, I'm not saying that he didn't deserve it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I fully expected maybe it was me expecting Alex to try to prove himself more because of the whole debacle last time and him being upset because he got injured. So he was, maybe going to come out with a higher ferocity, Captain Jerk, and come out and kill it, So Justin Maine definitely deserved this win.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm not discounting that. I more so thought he wasn't going to win simply because of what he pulled at the last show. And I was expecting what happened after the match to happen at some point
during the match.
And I was expecting, I was hoping. And I wasn't mad with the outcome. I was like, hell yeah. Okay, let's see where this goes. And then when that happened, I'm like, all right.
I mean, in my opinion, in my opinion, that's got to set it up it's got to set up a one-on-one between these two, which, I'm here for.
You know what I'm here for?
Like Dean's talking about Joshua Bishop. Joshua Bishop shows up after the match to lay some hurt on Justin Maine, the guy who interfered in Josh Bishop's match, cost him his title shot. Justin Maine, he's got some revenge coming from Josh Bishop. And Josh Bishop came up and hit him with a choke slam where it looked like this motherfucker's toes hit the ceiling. All right?
Yeah, but But not
Yes,
only did they hit him with one choke slam, the crowd asked.
Well,
for
of course
another,
we wanted another one.
Twice. That was great.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to catch that.
Small batch of photos, man.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to connect on that 187. But
yeah,
I was ready for that, dude.
Slams by Josh Bishop. Thank you, Josh.
The triple threat was amazing. I'm at the outcome. I was hoping that what happened afterwards with Josh Bishop was going to happen at some point in the night, and I'm glad it did because Justin costed Joshua Bishop the title in a sense.
Donald in the chat. Listen, I've never been more scared in my life than I was last night. Vince is frozen. Vince, can you still hear us though?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you fine. Your fingers are
like,
what's up, brother?
Hell yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it was great. Okay, Tim said he got me the card. We'll talk about that. That'll be a next week or show. We'll get you ready for May 11th. RSW coming back to Parma, Ohio.
If you haven't been to an RSW show, you better get back on it.
Oh, we lost Vince's video stream. He's still here, hopefully.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Ooh. Okay. I'm trying to see if we can do something about this.
You're all right.
Justin,
great match. Justin Main wins the match. Josh Bishop comes out and destroys him afterwards. Like I said, this has to set up for a singles match between these two guys. It has
James,
to.
James, what was your thought on this match?
Yeah, no, I said fantastic match. I was not as familiar with the backstory between Justin and Bishop as far as NEOPro specifically. So I actually you guys talking about it right there kind of helped fill me in. But no, so in fact, Dean, when you kind of mentioned you're glad to see Justin getting a chokeslam, what popped in my head, being the commentator I am, the line we would probably use is "Revenge is a dish best served cold."
That's good.
I like it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I mean, the choke slams were just outrageous. Like I said, it looked and it felt like Justin Main's feet hit the ceiling as he went up and came back down. If you've ever seen Josh Bishop, in real time, he's a big guy.
He's about 6'3", 200 some odd, I think 230, 240, something like that. But so when you think he's 6'3", and then once his arm is extended up above his head, he's probably getting whoever's the recipient, he's probably getting them 8-9 feet in the air. I would estimate
easily.
Oh yeah,
I know he
was
up
there.
My big ass up.
Yeah. But great match, great triple threat. I don't know if I would, like Dean said, it had the capability to be the match of the night. I don't think it was my match of the night. But it definitely gave me what I wanted out of it. I was definitely satisfied after that match.
Absolutely.
Vince, what's next, Bubba?
What was after that?
Jimmy Shane, no shame, Jimmy Shane versus Jake Ely, the Thunderbird. That was I'll be honest with you guys. I felt like it was a one-sided match, but it was still a really good match. When you see former tag team partners working in a singles match, to me, that them working with each other, they know how each other works. So I was a little worried about it. But I mean, Jimmy surprised me a bunch of times, and I mean, Jake too. Still, they pulled some stuff out that I hadn't seen really them do in their tag matches, and that was cool.
Well, it's crazy because again, this is something that like I can touch base on a little more because I've known Dean as well. With us doing time at OCW, we're very familiar with Jimmy and Jake, and they are very familiar with each other as well. So for them to continue to put on new matches that are matches with each other that are innovative, they're busting out new shit. I loved this match. I was here for this match. I love the crop of talent that NEOPro likes to bring to the table.
Yes, I will agree.
I agree with that too.
They really know how to choose like people that work well together, and they also know how to choose people that the fans want to see.
Yeah, 100%. Ellie saying hi to the champ. Is the NEOPro champ, women's champ, has she graced us with her presence in the Piledriver podcast? If so, hey Megan.
Hi Megan.
This match was solid, dude. This match was ripped.
If I want to get a fantasy booking, I know we're not talking about this. I just want to throw it out there. I want a Saturday night special versus Wise Guys in a Canton Street Fight match for the number one contender for the NEOPro tag titles.
Whoa.
Look.
Whoa.
And the winner of this match, because I'll go ahead and put it on the screen. And the winner, no shame, Jimmy Shane, able to prevail over Jake Ely.
Smoked him with two spears. Like 2 dill pickle spears, my guy. Just fucking roasted him.
Donald, I seen that, bro. There's a lot of spitting going on.
I'll throw this out there real quick. When I get to attend a show as a fan, a show I'm not working, which is almost never, but when I attend a show as just a spectator, the kid in me comes out. That being said, 99% of the time, and this also is going to spill into, I think, the next couple matches, 99% of the time, I'm old school, I'm traditional. I cheer the good guys and boo the bad guys. But now I will say, believe it or not, going into this match, while I might not always agree with Jimmy Shane's tactics at NEOPro, he had a gripe because in the tag team match that they lost at the previous show, as much as I love Jake and I love Jake Ely to pieces, Jake is the one that cost him the victory. So from that point of view, whether you agree with Jimmy Shane or not, he had a point.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, James. And I'm going to use to touch on that actually, because at this point in the match, after Jimmy had won this match, we saw the NEOPro debut of his former OCW tag team partner. I believe they are currently still the OCW tag team champions.
They are.
Show Robbie Starr shows up and catches a spear himself.
Yep.
Jimmy basically said, "What are you doing here?" Robbie got in the ring to talk some smack, and Jimmy stands on business. Spear. Jimmy walks out, hand held high.
Yeah, he didn't.
He did wrestle Neo. I forgot. It's been a while since we've seen him. Sorry, I haven't seen Robbie in a long time. But then he makes his return to NEOPro to show out against his former tag team partner, where they got into it at the last show at OCW, at the return of OCW at the Big Bang.
He tried talking some sense into Jimmy, saying this isn't you, and Jimmy tried telling him like this isn't about you, this is about me, and eventually. Yeah,
Jimmy or Robbie caught one too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. Jimmy Shane has said.
Jimmy Robbie stand there at the end. Jimmy's walking through the curtain, looking back, laughing. You got Robbie Starr and Jake Ely sitting there. Jake's like, "What the hell?" They look at each other, reach out the hand, they shake hands. I'm kind of curious what happens now.
Oh, don't forget Jake went flying in the back with that chair. So.
Yeah, Jake did grab a chair and take off running after, because at one point, the reason Robbie came out was because Jimmy Shane was going to give Jake Ely a concerto.
He was.
And Robbie Starr came out to interrupt this, and that, led to the spearing and, basically Jimmy Shane standing tall over both of his former OCW partners.
Yeah.
I mean,
man,
I don't know. I know that Jimmy Shane has told us specifically. He's told us in person, face to face, that he means business now. He's not relying on anybody. This is the Jimmy Shane show, and he's going to show you why you need to be watching.
I agree.
So, I mean, we can only see what this turns into. I mean, obviously, look, and this is we're going into this fantasy booking again. This obviously, since at NEOPro, wink, 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 there's no mid-card title. You have to go after the heavyweight title if you want some recognition. Currently, the NEOPro heavyweight champion, as of the show yesterday, the currently NEOPro champion, before we, no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you who won like that. It's not that easy. Is Jimmy Shane's former, I don't know if they're still friends, but I know that when NEOPro first came around, Jimmy Shane was hanging on Patrick Hayes. They were, together. They were partners. They were a team. They were whatever they were, business associates, whatever. But Patrick Hayes is the current NEOPro champion if he was able to retain. So does Jimmy go after his former friend or current friend if that's the case?
Ooh, good question.
That is a very good question, actually.
And so, and Jimmy, like Jimmy says it best himself right here, all eyes on me. It is the Jimmy Shane show. He doesn't need a partner.
So Jimmy, I'm going to need a new T-shirt with the Tupac cover, all eyes on me. But
with Jimmy like this?
Yes.
With Jimmy like this?
Make it happen. All eyes on me.
So great match. Like I said, we can only see or hope that this, Jimmy Shane continues on this path of, just kind of focusing on himself because, it's working for him.
I'm here for heel, Jimmy. Get what's yours, man. Get it.
Well,
what was after that?
Was four-way tag match. And this was a bunch of rad teams that I don't think I've ever seen this many heavy hitters in one ring at one time. This was Wise Guys versus Saturday Night Special versus Cash Inc. versus DD Trash. And
It reminds you, the Wise Guys came in as a filler for members only because some things came up. Unfortunately, members only was not able to make it. Cards always subject to change. It's a golden rule in wrestling. So the Wise Guys stepped in, and boy, did they do phenomenal, which is why I want to see more of the Wise Guys. I would love to see Saturday Night Special and the Wise Guys go at it. Those are two of my favorite tag teams out right now.
I've had the pleasure to work with the Wise Guys before at War Wrestling in Lima, Ohio. So I was already familiar with them. And so going back to something I mentioned a few moments ago, when I'm at a show as a spectator, 99% of the time I boo the bad guys. When they came out, I popped because I knew I've worked with them. I know what fantastic performers they are, what fantastic wrestlers they are in the ring. So as soon as I saw the Wise Guys come out, I was like, oh yeah. Now I will say so. Even though I've worked in the business for 8 years, and I'm 41 now, and I've been a fan of wrestling since I was probably 7 years old, give or take. I don't know if I had ever seen a 4-team match, kind of like a fatal 4-way of tag teams in my life. I don't know if I'd ever seen one. So going into this, I was kind of questioning. I'm going to be honest. I was kind of questioning. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know if this is going to be good. It was phenomenal. And so if you guys are curious as to what I think match of the night was, this match right here.
Yep. I will agree with you this. I'll give you the same thing, James. I think this was my match of the night. I loved this match. I loved everything about it. I loved all 4 teams. But it has to be, again, we all saw this. It has to be that Gino DiCapo and Tommy Irish come out and we're popping, obviously, and they're talking shit to us. They are talking shit to us. And Tommy looks at me. He, gives me the vaffanculo and tells me that, I'm a piece of trash and my mother's a piece of trash and that, all the Piledriver boys are pieces of trash. And then he looks right at my daughter and tells her that she's the most beautiful girl in the world. Don't let anybody tell her any different.
So there we go.
I'm here for the Wise Guys. Hey,
you got the man, Jimmy Shane, saying, now that I'm officially removed myself from any and all tag team divisions, the Wise Guys are going to be the team in NEOPro before long. I agree with that. I would love that.
No, it was
the
an amazing
crowd was behind them for them being there, and a lot of people who weren't familiar with them, they did amazing. They showed out. They showed they belong there, and I'm about it. It's got a taste in my mouth. I need some more Wise Guys.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And speaking of tables, which I think I mentioned earlier on, how many? I think 2 tables went down. Mathis thing. Ron Mathis, I know, went through one table. And then at the end, though, my goodness, Gino DiCapo. But Gino went through the table the second time, and that looked painful. I mean, not that going through a table ever looks fun, don't get me wrong, but like I was legit worried about him for a second. I saw as the table broke, as the table collapsed, the back of his head kind of did like a whiplash thing. I was like legit worried for Gino for a second. But he was able to kind of collect himself and shake the cobweb. He was able to get the back, and that's what she was about,
Yeah, no, I agree. It was that second table spot was real tough.
I was going to say, from what I could make out, we're having some audio issues or connection issues with James. He went that second table that Ron went through, or put Gino through, but essentially put himself through at the same time.
Even the vibes giving them flowers. This was a great match. Yeah, dude, the sound of both table spots.
Brutal. I don't know if you read Michelle's comment. I was trying to message.
No, I didn't see that.
Fix the audio. Michelle said, "I loved these table spots. It was fun seeing how quickly they replaced the tables." Shout out to Don and Nick they would break a table and these boys would pull Ron and Bree out another table. Like, here you go, guys. Sorry.
And Bree and Ron
would come over and break it again.
Can I just sit down? Hold on a minute. Good morning, Phil Stamper, the president of wrestling.
Thank you for joining
us. We love you, sir.
Good
morning. Hope you had a phenomenal weekend. It's always great to see you in here, man.
Yeah. Dude, the spots at this where the tables were just getting pulled out from under the ring were, all right, here we go. Let me put up another table. Here's a tablecloth. Put the bell down. Ron, put the mic and your note cards down. Psych. Pick it up. Slam.
Yep.
And then we all thought they busted out this little plastic card table, which I think was probably the last table available in the damn art hall.
It was.
And it got broken as well. It was a bad night for tables at NEOPro Wrestling last night. But it was.
Sorry, Bree and Ron. They
chose to make it Extreme NEOPro 2. That's their own fault. They did it to themselves.
Yep, tables, chairs, we saw it all.
And by no means am I complaining that they made it Extreme.
No, not at all.
Let's love it
because that's coming up. Why we're so excited about that. Yeah, DD Trash.
Don't lie, Dontavio. You did that on purpose. He said he didn't mean to break the little one. Yeah, you did. You looked at Bree. You said you ain't sitting. You ain't enjoying this. It's okay. I would do the same thing.
Like Vince said, all the tag teams in here, man. Cash Inc., DD Trash, Wise Guys. They were every team. They were so fucking good, man.
Even when Wise Guys was announced to replace it, still my standing that any one of these teams could have easily walked away with the victory, and I would have been happy with it.
Hey, let's talk about this because I was going to bring it up, but Bray brought it up first. The double 3D.
I forgot about that.
Was awesome.
And I know Mike got the video. That was beautiful. I've never seen a double 3D in my life. That was. I jumped out of my seat and looked at Mike like, what?
Yep.
Ron Reed in the chat. Yeah, your table caught one or a couple last night.
Yeah, we were just talking about you and Bree could not relax. Every time you guys sat down, another one, you guys had to get back up. We feel for you, man.
Yeah, that double 3D was so clutch, dude. It was so clean looking. Like Tommy just picked up both of them.
Dude, that was so clean.
Just clean.
Yep.
I can't wait to see that video again.
We got, and like Jared just, I'll let Jared tell you who won this one here. DD Trash able to walk away and pull this out with a victory here. And, obviously the question on my mind, at least, does this put them in line for tag team titles opportunity for a shot at the tag team titles?
I mean, we obviously just spoiled that there's tag titles, which we might just go ahead and jump into it. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, what does this mean for them? That was a big win for them.
Yeah. Four Corner Frenzy,
fantastic tag teams.
Yeah, Saturday Night Special, Cash Inc. and Wise Guys just to pull a win over those. And like I said, it wasn't like the crowd was solely rooting for one person. It was very spread out. You had Wise Guys fans, you had Saturday Night Specials fans. We are big members of the Applebee's Club around here at the Piledriver Podcast. But I
think the crowd will agree with us. They were just there for the moment. They liked all the teams, and they knew what they were getting. They were familiar with a lot of the teams, and they knew they were in for a treat. So they were just like, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I got that vibe from the crowd because they were rooting for everybody. So yeah, dude.
No, it was a great fucking match.
Let's skip ahead and just go straight to the tag title since we kind of like spoiled that, and then we'll jump back.
Okay.
Jump back. Yeah, we'll jump back. We'll come back. And Vince, just earmark where we are and cross off the tag team title match. So it started at Extreme Intermission with Studio 86. I'm not familiar with this fucking guy that comes out, Christian something, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
The bald dude with the fanny pack. I was like, who the hell is this when he came out? But then I saw the freaking fanny pack and I knew that he was with Studio 86. What's his name? Rick Martel, and I forget the other one's name.
Maserati
something. Maserati Rick.
Maserati Rick.
Maserati Rick and Rick Martel. Dude, they've
been undefeated in NEOPro since the beginning. No one's been able to beat them.
Go ahead.
So the celebration is to celebrate their undefeated streak here in NEOPro. The guy comes out, he's got a sack on his bag. I immediately jump up with you got in that sack.
It's Bill Martel. Thanks, Jason.
Bill Martel, okay.
I knew Rick was a part of something.
Immediately they come out, they do their little celebration, they do their intro, and he just tells them, like, hey, you guys have been undefeated here, and there's only one thing I want to do. I want to celebrate. You guys deserve this. He opens up the sack and pulls out these big, beautiful gold belts, and they are none other than the new NEOPro tag team titles. He gave it to them as a treat for being undefeated and nobody can mess with them. As you would expect, the crowd wasn't behind that. Like, yeah, you guys have won, but the crowd that knows we know they've cheated their way. They've done their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew they didn't really deserve it. Yeah, they're undefeated for sure. You know what I'm saying? But they presented the titles. And you know what? Those titles are gorgeous. Next thing you know, we hear some music hit. Who is it, Mike?
Whose music is it? It's the podcast's favorite uncle. Uncle Wilbur Whitlock.
Wilbur Whitlock gets out. And he lets those Detroit boys know. That's not how we do things here in NEOPro. That's not how we do things. No one gets handed shit here in NEOPro. You work for it. You earn it. If you want some titles, you're going to have to work for it. You have to earn it. And he calls out. He's like, you know what? I'm about to go against my best friend, one of my best friends, Shane Douglas. They were scheduled to do a one-on-one match. You know what? You want to earn those titles? Let's do this. They call out Wilbur. They said, I don't think you got a suitable partner to come at me with these titles. Music hits. The franchise shows up. We ain't getting Wilbur versus Shane Douglas. We're now getting Shane Douglas and Wilbur Whitlock versus Studio 86 to crown the inaugural tag team champions for NEOPro Wrestling the way it should be done. Yeah, Studio 86, they've been undefeated. They deserve it. Rightfully so. But from at the beginning, who was there? Shane Douglas and Wilbur Whitlock in the tag team match. That's how NEOPro 1 went out. It's only right that those two go at it for the straps. And boy, it was a Detroit street fight. Mm-hmm. It delivered.
As offered up by Studio 86.
Yeah.
No, they
won. The action went all around the Stark County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, it did.
Man.
It was crazy.
It was wild. It was everything I was hoping for. I'll be honest. When they first revealed those titles, I'm like, man, it's my hatred towards Studio 86. I have my own personal reason. We've already talked about the Pittsburgh sports reason. You know what I'm saying? Detroit, throwing to Michigan, and Pittsburgh, stuff like that. Yeah. So when I seen it, I'm like, man, that left a sour taste in my mouth.
As soon as that dude handed them these belts and he was like, you're the inaugural tag team champions. I looked right at Dean and Vince. Jason, I hope you're listening. I looked right at Dean and Vince and I said, I swear to fucking God, if they just hand them these belts, this show just lost a rating point automatically. It just lost to Piledriver. Because, like, sure, if they win them, fine.
Which isn't like a huge thing, I'm sure. But we did not agree with that at first. But I'm going to quote Dumb and Dumber, right when he trades off the van for that, and he's like, I didn't think you could do this, but you fully redeem yourself.
Yep.
That's what happened. Like, I was upset the way it was presented.
No,
I wasn't expecting that.
Comment from the boss himself.
But damn, the way you guys played that off and the way it played out, it was perfect. I am happy. Beautiful. It was the right move. You guys threw me off guard. You guys got me. I'm happy with it.
Nick seen it. I was pissed.
I love it. Yeah, no one gets handed shit in NEOPro. Exactly. The way you guys pulled that off, that was great.
Yeah, it was hard. This might be my second favorite match of the night, and this is why I love that there's three of us, because you guys were getting I believe it was Wilbur and Rick Martel, and I went over here to get Shane Douglas and Maserati Rick, or Bill Martell, and I say Rick again. I do want to say though that Ron set me off. I knew that I wasn't wrong. There was a wrestler named Rick Martel from the 80s.
Yeah. He held that. He had the tennis racket and stuff.
The model Rick Martel. He had the little bow tie.
Rick, I don't know if Rick had the tennis racket. He had the pump thing with a cologne that he could spray in a eyes.
He had to tie it around his neck. He had a sweater tied around his neck. And he sprayed. Yeah, you're right. Jim Cornette had the
tennis racket.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was great, man. This match turned out to be a phenomenal energy, I don't want to say energy refresher, but it's a change of pace, because we expected a one-on-one match between Shane and Wilbur, and we ended up getting them teaming up and actually just taking it to Studio 86.
And let's just be honest, NEOPro, they knew what they were doing.
Stoked to the fire.
I will say
they were getting the heat from the crowd was getting the heat that we expected with Studio 86. You know
Mike,
what I'm saying?
I'm actually going to correct you for a little bit though. The Wilbur and Shane they were not taking it to Studio 86 for the whole match. In fact, they're towards what became the end. It looked like Studio 86 kind of had the upper hand. Plus, they were getting some help since there wasn't any rules. They were getting some help from Izzy Lambert. It looked like get out, like they were gonna cheat their way to win, but it looked like they were gonna win.
I didn't mean it like they just
Thank you so much.
86, but I didn't mean it like that.
That's a perfect way to bring up something I really want to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, Izzy came out and brought Cherry, a brand new Cherry, and was just whooping their ass. Wilbur was getting his ass handed to him. Shane Douglas was out of commission for a little bit, so they were ganging up on Wilbur. Lizzie came out and was joining it. You know what I'm saying? Something needs to happen. And we knew what was in the building, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But is he coming out with Cherry? The only thing is right. Where is Sandman? You know what I'm saying? And right when I thought that music hit, and let me tell you, I haven't gotten emotional at a wrestling show in a very long time. And my phone was already getting ready to die, and I was trying to get the intro to it. The music hit, and I was marking out. I looked at the entrance, and I knew better. I grew up watching in the 90s. Sandman never comes out at the entrance. He always comes to the crowd. And then someone pointed out, and at that point, I put my phone down, and I decided to live in that moment, and I'm so glad I did. I was a young kid growing up watching ECW when my parents were asleep, and that's what I grew up in. I always watched Sandman come through the crowd, chugging the beer, hitting his head, bleeding, you know what I'm saying, kendo stick in hand, the energy in the crowd. I always, even as a young kid, I was like, God, I could only imagine what it was like to feel that. You know what I'm saying? I felt the energy through the TV. And at that moment, when I heard the crowd and the music, and I realized what was happening, I see him pull out a ladder and get up there. He's sitting there wearing a NEOPro shirt, kendo stick in hand, Budweiser in hand. He cracks that beer, man. My inner child kind of like came out. I felt my eyes watering. I got goosebumps. My inner child was like coming out and thanking me. Like,
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it first because I didn't want to seem like a bitch for saying it.
No, I'm not even a big dude. I don't show my emotions. I was tearing up, man. I had to take a moment. Like, this is something I never thought in my life I would get to witness it. Like, I grew up. That was a core memory watching ECW when my parents went to bed, and I was like, I shouldn't be watching it. Like 9, 10 years old, you know what I'm saying? And seeing that, and that Sandman always had a big role on me, and RVD and all them, you know what I'm saying? But like, I never would imagine in my life that I would get to witness a Sandman entrance like that. And when it happened, and he's 5-10 feet away from me, pouring beers in people's mouth, like I wanted that to be me. And the fact that it didn't happen, that's fine. But I was like, I witnessed that, and my inner child kind of like reached out, and I like felt like it was just like, thank you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I walked up to Jason.
I didn't get an opportunity to do that, and I wanted to, man. So
I saw Jason. He was carrying around the baby. He was carrying around the baby when we were on intermission. So
like, I saw him. I walked up to him.
I walked up to him, dude, and I was like, "Hey, just thanks, man." Like, that was my inner child had a moment right there, and it was fucking great. Cause same, Dean. Like, he came out. He brought a ladder. He brought a ladder and put it up in the middle of the crowd. Climbed up to the top of the fucking ladder, cracked his beer like Dean said, dude, and started pouring it in fans' mouths. And my fucking inner child went, woo! Like, it was great. Like, it was great, dude.
I'm getting emotional just talking about it. Like, that was cool. Then I look around, the whole locker room's there. Like, everybody knew what that moment was. And it was just something I will never forget. And I can't thank NEOPro enough for helping that. It's like one of those moments I didn't know I needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, when they announced it, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like my inner child was already like geeking out. But like when that entrance hit and I got to see that, that was like one of those things I didn't know I needed, man. And I was just overcome with emotion and just like, wow, is this really happening? Like, that's something I watched in the late 90s and it's 2024. And I'm like, I'm seeing that. And I'm forever grateful. Like, I know I say that all the time. Like, I'm grateful and I'm probably the most humble person here. Like, I may come off, you can't read me. I might probably come off like a dick. I'm a big dude. I'm hard to read. I'm bearded and tattooed, but like, I'm probably the easiest person to get along with. I'm forever grateful for this journey and being part of NEOPro from day one and watching how far they've grown and the fan base that they've created. They deserve it. And knowing the people behind the scenes, they deserve every bit of this. And I'm just proud to be even just a very, very, very small fraction of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just talk about it, but 100%. I'm proud to be there from day one and watch all this, man. And that last night, like, it was something, man. I talked about it earlier to my kid, and he just didn't understand. I'm like, I showed him some old ECW things, and like just tried explaining it to him. He's 14. He don't know. He didn't even know about Stone Cold. I made him watch a Stone Cold documentary, and like he understood. Like after he's like, man, he was a bad dude. I'm like, yeah, when you knew that glass shattered back in the day, like she was about to pop off. Like it was a different feel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not what they know today. Like, and that's the same thing with ECW. Like it changed the platform for everything, and. Yeah, dude, that was just something I didn't know I needed, but I had a moment there last night, and that's something I will always cherish and never forget. And I'm forever grateful for NEOPro and Jason and Danny and everybody involved. Like that was special to me.
Oh yeah, what you got to say, James? James was trying to interject.
But no, I didn't want to interrupt Dean because I could tell Dean was being heartfelt there, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that was righteous, bro. But no, I don't
ever like open up and be like that. So that was like a rare moment for me. But I feel
I kind of figured, and a little bit I know of you, I kind of figured. So that's why it's like I'm gonna let him go. I'm not gonna stop him. But no, circling back real quick, Mike, you pulled it up. I saw Bray's comment, and just from someone who works in the business, because he talked about how everyone in the back was watching on the monitor because it was that big of a moment when Sandman, had his thing. And but yeah, so Bray, I guess watching Bray, if you're still with us, watching at least being able to watch on a monitor would be better than having to be in like Gorilla or trying to peek through the curtains or something like that. Because I've been there before. I'm sure you have too. So yeah, so at least you guys were able to watch it on a monitor, if nothing else.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, and like you said, it had to be a big moment. Like, we turned around at one point when the music hit, and we saw basically the entire locker room. If they weren't watching on the monitor, they were standing outside the curtain because, again, that was a fucking moment.
It was a moment.
We won't even there's no real reason to even get into it. The fucking Sandman came out and beat the shit out of everybody with his kendo stick.
Yeah.
Wilbur Whitlock and Shane Douglas are your first ever NEOPro tag team champions.
And boy, are those titles beautiful. Every title in NEOPro, you guys have knocked out of the park.
This is my favorite thing ever right there. That's my favorite thing ever, that I had down a break character.
You do.
I had him laughing.
Mike, you be talking crap. There's sometimes I kind of look at you because I'm calm and collective, and I think that's why we always work well together. There's sometimes you say some stuff, and I know you're like just going with it. I'm like, come on, man, like that's a little too much. But man, you be talking, you be breaking them, man.
So circling back,
I've seen the big teddy bear comment. Yeah, I'm a big teddy bear. I'm very misunderstood though. Like, I've been told I'm intimidating. I don't really open up very often and show emotion. A lot of reasons why I'm like the way I am. But if you get to know me, I'm the easiest person to get along with. But yeah, I had a moment, and I figured it was the right time to talk about it. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm getting all the comments right now. Karen said I'd be so loud. Because I am loud. Hey, the Piledriver boys got to carry that crowd. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, Donald said, I'm just get some liquid courage in me. I'm usually just kind of like, I'll get into it, but I need some liquid courage in me. I get anxiety.
What did he say? Yeah,
circling back, because
Kaylin said they could hear me all the way at the Neo Mom table.
I believe it. You loud
as fuck. Circling back though, after the tag team 4-way earlier on, Vince, what in order of the card? What came next?
Yeah, what we got next?
Oh no, we gotta circle back. That was the women's match. That was Katie Arquette versus Megan Myers.
Yep.
The first defense for the women's NEOPro champion.
And Vince, you remember what I told you midway through? I'm like, man, what a way to set off. Like, if they shout out to Danny and them, like the booking, Katie Arquette is phenomenal.
Yep.
She could have easily walked away with this, and she gave Megan a run for her money. Megan's a damn good wrestler, and they're two totally different wrestlers too. You know what I'm saying? Like, their style of wrestling, Megan can go. And just to usher in that new era of the women's championship, and they've already done a phenomenal job with booking the women from day one. The women's division has been nothing but heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? And then Megan being crowned the inaugural, and then you get the very first title defense against Katie Arquette. And the show that it was already, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was already a big moment. Like, that match was really good. Like, what a way, you know what I'm saying? What a way to set the tone. Like, we've seen numerous women's matches, you know what I'm saying, in different promotions, and there's been some that's like lackluster, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not dogging them, you know, we've been seeing some, but like, this was good. And the fact that it was the very first women, like the title defense, you know what I'm saying, for that, what a way to like start it off. Like, what a banger.
Yeah, I agree completely. And that's the only other time in the match where I was rooting for a heel, or the only other time in the show, in the whole 4.5 hour show, where I was rooting for a heel. I'm going to be honest, I'm completely biased, but yeah, I've worked with Katie in the past. We've known each other for several years, and I know what a phenomenal wrestler she is. And I have, even though she's smart, she knows how to work a crowd. She knows what she's doing in that ring. She knows what she's doing on the way to the ring with her trash talking. And so even though her persona, draws a lot of boos and a lot of hatred from the crowd, again, she knows what she's doing. She's a very smart lady. And but yeah, I think I was like one of two people rooting for Katie. Nothing against Megan, but like, and I was being biased. I'll admit, and I try and be unbiased as much as possible. But I was actually rooting, nothing against Megan, I was actually rooting for Katie in that match. But no, Dean, going back to what you were saying, it was a really good match.
It was a very good match.
I agree.
It could have went either way, like Dean said. Go ahead, Vince. Sorry, I mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. I always try to, give them shout outs, and like I saw both women hit some pretty heavy moves. Megan with a double knee right to Katie's chin. That was a heavy shot, but I watched Katie spine bust the hell out of freaking Megan. Like that was ruthless. That was when I actually thought Katie was gonna win, and me and James, we were rooting for the same people almost every match, and I'll say that was the only time me and James weren't rooting for the same people. And we were going back and forth talking about a lot of these matches, so it was great. But
it worked out that me and Vince were sitting next to each other. We had a connection. We had a bond.
I felt it. I was kind of jelly. No, that was Katie was in control for a lot of the match too, and like obviously I wanted Megan to retain, but I'm a fan of Katie as well, especially since she aligned herself with Derek Dillinger. Katie's more of the quiet type. She doesn't do as much talking, you know what I'm saying? She lets her actions in the ring speak for himself. She's a dog in the ring. She's a killer. But Katie, like, talking her shit, even calling her out, like, when she would, like, do her little ballerina stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's her signature move. Like, this is wrestling, sweetheart, and, like, calling her out, like, it was, it did more, maybe to me, than it did to most. Like, this is how I've seen a lot of places where the women's division isn't built up as well as it should be.
It's an afterthought. It's not like it's an afterthought. It's not as important as people think sometimes.
And it should be just as equal, you know what I'm saying? And the way they treated it and the feel of it and the way the whole match went, it was great, man. I was
No, 100%. You're not.
What a way to set off the new era, you know what I'm saying, for our first title defense, a new title, you know what I'm saying? Like, what a way to start it off, you know what I'm saying? Then afterwards, obviously, Megan retained.
Able to retain. Yeah, go ahead.
Jessica Havoc comes out and, you know, it gives her flowers, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of sense, like, there's, like, some sarcasm, like, she's talking her shit, but at the same time, like, listen, I didn't doubt you, but I just kind of came out. Well, I want to let you know, I got some loose ends I need to tie up with Angel Metro. But at the same time, I want you to be aware that there's a target on your back, and I'm coming for your ass.
Yeah, she threw down
but
the gauntlet.
Let her know, like, I got some loose ends to tie up, and name dropped Angel Metro, and we all know what's been going on with her and Angel Metro, from the get-go, and we all know we're both excited for all that. We love Angel Metro, we love Jessica. I'm excited to see what happens with that, but I felt like that was great too. Like, it let Megan, like, don't forget, like, you're being watched.
Hey,
there's a target on you. That belt comes with a target.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And when Jessica screamed as she's leaving, I think that was the most terrifying moment. She screamed at that camera and just let everyone know, like,
she's got a terrifying scream. I love it though.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So good.
Megan able to retain, and you know, just a great match. It was, again, on a stellar card, just matches upon matches of goodness. What came next there, Senor Vince?
Well, obviously we were gonna do the intermission, but
okay. So that was the intermission. Then came intermission, which we touched on already.
Yep. So we only
Shane Douglas and Wilbur won their match.
Yep. And then I'm gonna be real honest with you. Once Sandman hit, my brain got fried out. And I kind of quit taking notes. But at this point, I can tell you, if I'm correct, the next match was Don Tavio versus Sami Callihan.
It was, man.
And holy crap!
The music hits. First off, Sami Callihan's music goes hard.
Holy hell,
dude! The Death Machine shows up. We all know how big of a player Sami Callihan is in the wrestling business. You know what I'm saying? With Wrestling Revolver, dude's been with every promotion. He's made memories. Yeah, he just recently showed back up at TNA. He had his big moments in Impact before they switched back. You know what I'm saying? Dude's been all over. And we had Don Tavio on last weekend to talk about this. This is the biggest part of his career, man. Probably the biggest match up to this point. And it was a huge match, dude. And when that music hit, the intensity, he immediately came out, threw a chair in there. I'm like, oh my God. We already knew like this match was going to go hard, but like that just immediately set the tone and bumped it up a little bit.
Oh,
and then
the sign even, and he had his little homie with him. The
yeah.
Was it Go Tigers?
Yeah, he was talking about he talked to shit about Canton.
The Maslin Tigers. They're probably Canton's rival. I'm not familiar.
I don't know who was with him. He said he was a Canton.
I don't know that guy's name. I don't know who that was. I know his fucking pants sucked.
Yeah, the bell bottoms. Yeah.
But he was basically like, oh yeah, he's a Canton legend, but the best thing he ever did was move to Maslin. So he's like, shout out to Maslin Tigers, getting his heat. You know what I'm saying? Sammy's great at that. But after that, Don Tavio's fucking music hit. And that
pop right there.
Dude,
where like, nobody was sitting down anymore.
Shout out to him. He dropped some new merch beforehand. I tried getting it before intermission. He already sold out. Like
it's sold out.
But the crowd was behind him, and I looked throughout the crowd. Everyone's wearing Don Tavio shit. Everyone's behind him. They recognized the moment. He knew the moment. I know he felt it, which amplified it more. And it's just like, let's go. Like I knew this was going to be a banger. And I was for it, dude. And it was on every single level, everything I wanted it to be. It was so cool to see Sammy in person.
Yes.
But to see our boy like that in that moment made it even better. But at that time as well, like I put all that aside. Like I just wanted to witness this and live in the moment. Like I knew I put my feelings aside for Don Tavio. You know, he's the boy of the pod. And we know Sammy Callahan, you know what I'm saying? But like all fair, I just put it aside, like, let's enjoy this. I knew we were in for a treat, and damn, man. We were.
It was awesome.
You guys talk a little more, and I don't want to take over, but
4 pile drivers in this match. All
4.
Just 4.
One outside of the match. One
outside. Great video by Vince on that, which will be getting posted, by the way. Great, just pile drivers, man. And we knew Sammy was that's what he does going into this, but I can't even say how loud it was. Like Don Tavio's pop at this time reminded me of Wilbur's first pop when NEOPro first came. It was that fucking loud. Like it was a little nuts. Like nothing against Don Tavio. Like that's the homie for sure. But like the fans showed up for him last night and they were behind him. And dude, I'm 96% sure that that's what drove him to take home a fucking W against the Death Machine.
Dude, it was awesome. Dude, Don Tavio, dude, you're the man. This was amazing. This was a huge win. I mean, you're going against the Death Machine and you beat him. You beat the Death Machine at his own game. You beat the hell out of Sammy. You took everything Sammy threw at you.
He took some crazy chops. He took a boot in a corner outside the ring right in front of us.
Yes.
The spit. I know your chest is hurting. He took pile drivers, dude. Like he put you through hell.
Got paper cuts. Hey, you got paper cuts, dude.
You got his ass too, though. And
that's right.
He knew it. I am so proud of our boy Don Tavio.
Nick for giving me this, by the way. He did sign it for me. Ripped in half.
What a moment. And with that being said, I think we're all in agreement. Don Tavio, you are the wrestler of the month.
My guy. Gabagool, my guy.
Well deserved, bro. Like
you are the man.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
What a moment for you.
It was unanimous. Like we all had nominations that we nominated, but then when we talk about it and we like, hey, let's this and this, and it was unanimous that we were like, yep, that's the huge W. The fact that you essentially came on here last week and was like, I got this. I'm gonna give it my all, and I'm gonna walk out of there victorious. Not only did you fucking talk the talk, brother, you walk the walk. Yeah. That's how it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like he blocked out all the shit. Cause I'm guarantee you he's had people like that's Sammy Callahan, and I'm sure he knew it too. And I know him enough. Like he's similar to me with a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you hear all that negative talk, it's hard to not kind of like doubt yourself. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be able to block that out and
To flip
still have
it, to
confidence
essentially
in
flip
himself,
it. Yeah, to take that negativity and essentially flip it, like positive, bitch.
there was
I'm
there
a
was
win,
a lot
you
of
know,
times
like
he hit you with some chops and shit like that, and we're just like, damn, man, like,
He's
and you just
spit
kept
on our-
going, you kept going, and look what
spit
happened.
on him multiple
You
times.
beat
Spit in
the
his
death
hand.
machine, one of the best wrestlers in this world. It's been well traveled. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a huge moment for you. You made the best of it. You
Like, that's one of those fucking resume matches that you can put on your fucking resume, dog. Like, I beat Sammy Callihan.
and after the match, for him to realize, like, he was shocked that he lost, but he gave you your flowers. Like, you deserved every bit of that, dude. So, congratulations to you. You're a Piledriver Wrestler of the Month.
And thank
Damn
you, Sammy, for coming and putting over our guy as well. Like, thank you so much, Sammy. Thank you for giving us Piledrivers. And just
No, 100%. Thank
David
you
put
for
himself
not coming
over.
in here and being one of these fucking superstars. It's like, I'm coming in, I want, however much my rate is, and I want to win.
Yep.
Like, for you to come in here and want to help and put in, and put in that work to put over those young guys, to pick him up in front of his family and friends and fucking get that, the handshake, that respect. That's top notch. We'll give Sammy one of these. We'll give Sammy one of these tonight, But yeah, no, Dontavio, Wrestler of the Month, well deserved.
Honorable mention was definitely Bray as well. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, we said that earlier. Definite honorable mention was Bray McKenzie, for not only the Dio storyline and him doing his thing over at Mega, but doing his thing at NEOPro as well. The body of work
everywhere. Yep.
And then it's hard to follow that. It's hard to follow that match, right? We get somebody that we haven't seen since the Salem show. 5-star Thomas Adams makes
my fellow birthday boy. We share the same birthday.
He shows up and he wants a match. I guess he's been given opportunity by NEOPro management to come out and essentially open challenge.
Yeah, he gave NEOPro his flowers. He said, what I'm saying? Like, he's been watching. He's proud to be part of this. He let the people know, like, in his city, it runs through him. Everybody needs to check in. But he felt the need to be there and check in with NEOPro. And he kind of just like, you know what? I want to do a check-in challenge. And he looked at Ron Reed. He's like, how's that sound? And everyone was like, yeah, let's fucking do it, man.
Unfortunately, though, I don't know if he was all that enthralled with the opponent that came through the curtain, though.
No.
110%.
We heard the music.
What a surprise.
We heard the music. Who else is it? Matthew Taylor. So, Matthew Taylor comes out, you know what I'm saying? PA's like, okay, you want something, you know what I'm saying? But Matthew starts talking his crap, saying he loves you, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. Let's keep the party rolling, you know what I'm saying? And Jexy's there, of course. They're all playing their little mind games. But then he stops and he's like, he gets in the ring making TA think like, you're going to be facing me. But then he's like, hits him like, you know what? Nah, I got someone for you.
Brings out the biggest.
Yeah, he's looking around like, who you got then? I'm ready for whoever. Then the music hits.
That was the worst thing he could have said. That was the worst thing he could have said.
Yeah.
This is also the point if you're following along in the comments where Donald almost shit his pants during this match. So we'll get into that. But like Dean was saying, man, Matt Taylor brings out the biggest member of the Gospel of Light. A man we've seen just absolutely destroy people. Not even only wrestlers. We've seen him destroy referees at NEOPro and be suspended for it.
This is really like the full time we've had an opportunity to see Matthew Taylor kind of have control over Beastman, because Jexy recently just brought him in, and we're kind of like we were all kind of wondering how this was all going to play out.
I think the way it works is like a power of control thing. Like I think Matt has control over Jexy, but Jexy has the control over the Beastman. So ultimately, through chain of command,
right,
Matt has the power over
Beastman. Sees that Jexy's listening to Matthew, then he's kind of like, but you could tell he's kind of still on the ropes about it. And I mean, Beastman's Beastman. You know what I'm saying? Jexy was kind of like he's the Hulk, and then Jexy's the only person that can calm him down.
Yeah, I think it's becoming apparent, if not already, that at least at NEOPro, if not at other places as well, but at least at NEOPro, Matt Taylor is definitely trying to become a cult leader if he's not already. And Jexy is definitely under a spell, and yeah, I think he's trying to keep Beastman under a spell as well.
Oh yeah, the gospel light is being spread in NEOPro. Matthew Taylor's growing stronger and stronger every day. He's constantly bringing in new people. So we were kind of curious how this is going to play out. And my God, like TA can go. We know what TA is capable of. He's the reigning NEOPro.
This is not.
But Beastman is unhinged.
No shot. Yeah, this is like no shot at TA's performance or his capabilities or his what he can do as a wrestler. At this point, it was just try to move as quick as you can and don't get caught.
And he did very well. Like for as long as he did, like he had him a few times, but eventually, like Beastman just powered through and got the best of him and took the dub eventually. But afterwards, he reigned an assault on TA, dude.
Right in front of me.
And I hope TA, man, that back. I hope you're good today, dude, because you took multiple chair shots from the hands of that man, and
when trying to break this up, at one point, head security guard Nick had tried to get around to like maybe help or see if Thomas was all right. He knocked the Gospel of the Light Bible out of Matthew Taylor's hands, and at that point, he was then shoved to the ground by Matthew Taylor, and then kicked, assaulted by Jexy Black,
taking boots to the head.
And when Donald comes over and tries to, restore some order, he was yoked up by the Beastman, and that's where his soul left his body. Yep. He was scared right there.
Man, I was worried for you.
Again, we've seen the Beastman destroy referees and competitors alike. There's nothing I would see where he wouldn't attack a security guard.
He was unhinged, and eventually Matthew and Jexy got him to calm down. Security was trying to calm him down, and I heard Beastman say, "You want me to stop? Make sure he stays down then." Because if he keeps getting up, because TA kept trying to get up, and shout out to him, man, he wasn't backing down. Every time he took one of those chair shots, he would try to get right back up. He wasn't quitting. But yeah, I heard Beastman say, "You want me to stop? Tell him to stay down then."
Donald said, "I felt like an 8-year-old in that moment. I froze." So yeah, he thought Beastman was going to eat him. So, I mean, hell of a crazy match, impromptu match that we didn't expect was not on the card. So, gotta love those that get thrown at you when they're not,
Yeah. Always good to see 5-star TA in building too.
And then to wrap it up, the creme de la creme, the match we've all been waiting for, the NEOPro Heavyweight Championship on the line. The Ultra Star Ashton Day challenges Patrick Hayes for the title.
Yep, we had a 3.5 minute entrance. Let's listen to his whole song.
Well, I mean,
I think the end of the song is the best song.
I think it was more so the crowd. We couldn't even hear his song over the sound of the boos at that point. It was, I don't know.
It was apparent who the crowd was behind. Phil Collins hit. Everybody cheered. The pop for Ashton Day. There was new chants going down.
I started that.
And yeah, Patrick comes out, does a slow walk. People immediately, as soon as he comes through the curtain, both sides, they were chirping in his ear, tell him how he sucks. He took
the little kid. There was a little kid. He had to be like 10 years old across the entryway for me. Finger right in Patrick Hayes' face. Like I love to see.
As soon as he walked through it, like the whole main entrance, there was like 6-7 middle fingers up there waiting for him. Like,
I'm gonna put that up. I'm gonna put that up there just because she's 100%. She's never been wrong about anything.
Yep. Michelle calls it out how she sees it, and I love that.
Ashton is a star.
Yeah, Ashton is our star.
One observation about the match, real quick, I want to throw out. Though I don't agree with Patrick Hayes' personality either. I will say this much. I'll give him credit on one thing. We've always known Patrick Hayes, big, strong guy, powerhouse wrestler. But so he usually, not always, but usually relies on his strength to overpower his opponents. He didn't do that in this match, at least not very much. I mean, we saw a couple power moves, but he actually went a very technical route. I think Patrick realized, hey, Ashton is young, he's
just
fast,
as strong as I am.
He can jump. Yeah, I'm going to slow the guy down. He first started working on Ashton's leg and knee. Then he started working on Ashton's back, and that game plan worked. Ashton he wasn't able to fly around or run around as much as he normally would had Patrick not taken that route.
Yeah, no, he wasn't able to hit some of his moves, his aerial moves, his running around the ring, drop kicks, etc., stuff like that.
We see a lot more of the technical side of him today, and I mean that was nice. The way I've always looked at Patrick Hayes, and I'm not saying like to a T, but the best way to explain it is say if Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe had a love child, I kind of see Patrick Hayes falling into that. And then there was a little side affair with some Buddy Matthews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a little bit of everything. You know, he does a little walk away that Samoa Joe does. He can be technical. We've seen that. He's a scrapper too. He just like KO. He talks his shit. You can say what he wants, man. He gets the heat behind the crowd. He's a great heel. He's done a phenomenal job as champion. Obviously, like we all know, we were all rooting for Ashton here. We love Ashton. Ashton.
Look at my face. Look at my face when you say that.
I know. We all know
he's been a phenomenal champion.
Hey,
go ahead.
That's what makes it good, though. We agree to disagree.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. Something I feel like I observed, but I want to get all three of y'all's opinions just to see if I'm the only one who observed it or if you guys noticed this too.
Yes, I totally agree. Patrick Hayes fucking sucks. No,
but yeah,
I'm just messing. I'm just talking shit.
He did get Ashton Day to tap out, and I think a sharpshooter, I believe it was. He got Ashton to submit.
Yes,
he did.
He retained via submission to a sharpshooter in the center of the ring. Yes,
he was getting comfortable and leaning back and just sitting like, oh, I'm gonna relax, and like he's a big boy, and to do that, like, I don't blame Ashton for tapping, man. Like,
no. And he almost got out of it. To Ashton's credit, I mean, he was probably like this close to the ropes, but then Patrick used his power to pull him back into the middle. But so, let me ask you guys something though. My observation when Papa Smurf called for the bell, there was, I don't know a ratio. I'm just going to estimate 50-50. There's 50% boos, but then there's 50% silence, like in a bad way, like almost like dismay. And I honestly felt like some people, as opposed to booing or jeering or cursing or whatnot, they literally just got up out of their seat and walked away. Would that be fair to say?
I was one of those people because look, and I wasn't going to say this. I hate it because I know that it's it was between these guys that nobody has any influence. The Sandman was there, right? The Sandman was there. Before intermission, the place was packed. After the Sandman signed his autographs, about 40% of the people left.
Yeah. Yeah. And the people that were there have been people that have been at NEOPro from day one. Like it was all familiar faces.
Yeah, that's fine. And the people that came to see
the Sandman, to get in. If they missed out on that, that's their loss. That's their loss.
The 60% of people that were left, 90% of them wanted Ashton Day to win that fucking title. And when he didn't, we were stunned. It was ridiculous. Like I was
stunned too. I wasn't expecting the finish of him tapping to a sharpshooter. I wanted Ashton to win too, but that also speaks volumes as Patrick as a heel. Dude's a great heel. You say what you want about him. He can be a scumbag. He can be a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great heel. I love heels and I appreciate it.
He is.
I'm gonna give him his flowers as a heel, and
I'll give him his flowers as a wrestler. Sure. He's not a bad wrestler. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not taking away from his wrestling ability.
I know you love Ashton too. Are you
personality? I'm taking away from Patrick Hayes' personality. He's a fucking asshole. He's an asshole.
I know we all know you're a huge Ashton Day fan. We are too.
This has nothing to do with Ashton Day. I wanted Colton Quinn to beat Patrick Hayes at the Salem show. Patrick Hayes is a shithead. He's just get out. Just move on.
He does good what he does, though.
Just move on.
Hang
on. Just
hang on. I want to bring up.
We'll talk about this off pod because I got more shit to say that's not computer friendly.
That's fine.
We'll talk about it off pod.
Mike. Real quick though, I want to play devil's advocate here, and I'm hesitant to do this since I, currently work in the business and I'm open to more bookings in other places. I'm kind of hesitant to stir the pot, but something I thought about last night on my 2-hour drive home at midnight and 1 a.m. from Canton to Columbus, not an idea, but just an observation popped in my head. I told Dean about this earlier. Here's my observation. Has Ashton had 3 matches in which he's been on the losing side to Patrick Hayes? He has, but now here's what I was thinking. The first time they wrestled, Patrick Hayes was not the champion. In fact, I don't think I think it was our second show, or something. The championship, I don't think was even created yet.
It was the pre-show. NEOPro, it was at Hartville.
Yeah, so in the first match, or the first time that Patrick and Ashton wrestled, there was no championship on the line. The second time they were in a match back a few months ago, earlier this year, a championship was on the line, but it was a triple threat match in which Alex Daniels was also a part of that match. So here's, and I'm not being biased. I have not spoken to Ashton Day whatsoever, but this is just an observation. Technically, last night was the first and only time that Patrick and Ashton have had a singles match for the title, if you guys are following me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, so I'm just wondering.
No, you're fine. I'm talking about Jason's right.
But yeah, I'm just postulating to the NEOPro Rules Committee or the Booking Committee or whoever, seeing how last night was the first and only time that Ashton and Patrick have had a singles match when the title was on the line. I'm wondering if there's any type of rematch clause out there, and there may not be. I don't know. I don't want any heat, but just it was an idea that popped in my head as I was driving through Amish country and trying not to run over deer.
Fair. I mean, maybe. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how number one contendership works. When that triple threat happened, Alex and Ashton both had to compete twice that night. Hayes didn't. So yeah, maybe Ashton gets another shot. I don't know.
I'm going to put it this way. I've been well outspoken about the whole Bloodline segment in WWE. It's ran a course. It got super sour. I was ready for it to be over with. Okay. Roman finally loses. I was happy as hell. I was glad this is over with. You know what I'm saying? Now they got the new angle with Solo, you know what I'm saying? And with Tama Tonga and all that shit. As much as I hated it, it's got me interested.
You missed it.
I'm like reinvested, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of implies that, like, yeah, was I very outspoken? Like, yeah, I'm ready for a new champ. I would like to see Patrick lose, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's a great heel. He gets under my skin sometimes too. There's been times I was like, fuck him, you know what I'm saying? But the way he won against Ashton, it wasn't no bullshit. It was a clean tap, you know what I'm saying?
Again,
now I'm reinvested in this.
Him as a wrestler. He won his match.
Besides how I feel about him as a wrestler, as a person, I'm reinvested now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a clean win, whether you want to admit it or not. Now I'm like, okay, as much as I hated the dude and I wanted him to lose, what's next?
Now, I mean, I'm reinvested too, because now I'm reinvested on who's going to get that number one contender shot, so who I can root for next fucking time. That's what I'm reinvested in. I'm invested in NEOPro because I want somebody to kick his fucking
I'm having
ass.
flashbacks when we used to run some ropes and we used to always talk about Sasha Banks. That's how
I feel about Patrick fucking Hayes. That's how I feel about Patrick Hayes. He fucking sucks.
Oh my god, I love this. All right, well, can I say one thing before we bash him into the ground? Patrick Hayes, thank you for all the kind words you said about NEOPro. Thank you for pulling out.
That threw me a curveball too.
That was fake. That was the fakest thing he's ever done in his life.
That's not him though.
I still appreciate
it. For him to do that, man, I was like, you know what, you're in some respect for me. He came out and he's like, as much as I hate you all, I appreciate you all, because like he's been here from day one. And for him to open up and kind of have that moment, call out the rest of the locker room, and he was even like, don't worry, you're not gonna get in trouble, blah blah blah, like a little peek behind the curtain a little bit, like, and for him to say the things he said, which was cool, because I was kind of hoping he would, you know what I'm saying?
Give some respect to the people that pay your fucking paycheck, sure. Like, yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Mike.
I already did. We're not going to touch on it anymore. Patrick Hayes is the equivalent of indie Sasha Banks at this point to me.
That's
all right. Well,
that's fine. I respect that, but at the same time, I appreciated that moment.
I was gonna say we don't always have to like the same wrestlers. That's fine.
I know, that's why I'm enjoying this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? That makes it good.
Great. No, this is awesome. This is exactly like
I respected that. You know what I'm saying? It was cool.
We don't
There's
have
times to hate him too, man. But for him to do that and like
real quick,
you can think it's fake
before
as hell.
Ron's leaving. Real quick, because Ron's leaving. Ron, I'm gonna send you a message. I gotta send Ron a DM about that. About some cards. I found some playing cards. We're gonna talk. Ron's big.
We love you, Ron. We love all you guys.
Thanks for a great night last night, brother.
Here, buddy.
No,
Nick.
Jason. No, she wasn't. Do not get me started. No, she wasn't. She was Botcha Banks. All she did was botch moves and suck it up. She had some good matches.
Mike is really emotional about this.
Hated about Sasha. I hate
he
her.
does.
She's money. That's all
if
she
he
is.
passionately hates somebody, he gets so.
It's ridiculous. I was never a fan ever from the beginning. She had some good matches with Bayley. And then she thought her name was bigger than it was. She went to Japan, did nothing. She's been in AEW, done nothing.
Woosa.
Yeah, she's done nothing since WWE. WWE made Sasha Banks.
Okay.
Anyways, move on. Vince, give your flowers so we can give our ratings.
That's actually all I was going to do. Thank you, everyone, for putting on one of these best shows ever. The ladies at the door taking our tickets and helping us get
Neo moms, the front line.
That's right.
To the security guards that keep us
Johnny and Nick killing it.
Me and let me film everyone. Thank you to all the wrestlers for coming out. Thank you, Sandman. Thank you, Shane Douglas. Thank you, Sam Gallen. I do want to say
that's why I got up and rubbed my ass.
You funny man, you.
He said someone give Mike a butt rub. I ain't doing it.
So no, this was a great show, and I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna give my rating because I just absolutely love this show. It is something that was very just like Dean was saying earlier, it was very impactful for me because ECW was what I loved about wrestling, and I love that we got to see two of the best stars of ECW last night in our own promotion. NEOPro treats us like we are their stepsons, and for them to pull such amazing talent and I never thought I'd ever see Sandman, let alone hear that music pop, seeing him do everything. Like I haven't drank. I'm about to celebrate 10 years Cali sober, and I told myself if that man pours the beer in my mouth, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah,
right.
Same. I don't drink at all. When I saw him pouring beer in fans' mouth, I stepped over like I'll drink.
I didn't say this earlier. Like the energy I felt with the crowd behind it, with the music blasting, everyone was singing it. I felt that was energy that I always thought it was watching it through the TV in the 90s. Like I felt that through the TV back in the day. Like God, I can only imagine how it feels in person. Like that must be such a cool experience. Like everybody's singing. The vibe, like I'm an empath. I feel everybody's energy. I can read a room before people even talk. I feed off energy. It was everything I thought it was. And I think that played a role too. Like I was looking around, everyone singing it, marking out. It was like I'm sitting in the TV 9-10 years old watching ECW again. You know what I'm saying?
It was a very intimate moment for all of us that are ECW fans, wrestling fans, and just genuinely NEOPro fans. Thank you, NEOPro. Thank you. NEOPro.
NEOPro.
All of this this entire everything that we just talked about. Again, I'm gonna go back on what Dean said. This was absolutely the best indie show I've ever seen, and I will give this 10 pile drivers, guys. I'm going above and beyond. This was
he done doubled up.
Vince
done doubled up on us.
This is the best. This was something I feel like I needed personally. I feel like we all needed this release, this moment of just enjoying ourselves, enjoying that moment, enjoying our favorite wrestlers, seeing our heroes, and spending time with the people that we love. So, dude, thank you, NEOPro. Thank you.
So just to keep it on the pile driver scale, Vince had a 5+. Vince is just there. He's at the top-notch show, best you can do. Good fucking shit. Keep it up. Because we can't just start giving shows 10s, because then we got to give every show a 10, and we got to start ranking them out of 10. And then the shows that got 5s before, that means they were only half good.
Jason said, "Man, I think I have to retire now." I want to piggyback off that. I'm just going to go straight out the room and say like 10. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 pile drivers.
There you go.
Best indie show I've ever been to. From top to bottom, you know what I'm saying? And it's accumulated. A lot of it stems from you guys reaching out to us before the first show and just like inviting us out. Like, hey, if you guys like it, we'd love to have you guys come out and check it out. If you like it, don't come. I mean, we'd like you to come back. If not, that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, from day one, you guys have put on an amazing show. The very first show, Neo 1, was phenomenal. And we knew we were instantly hooked. And we haven't missed one yet. And to be there from day one, to watch the growth and the fan base and everything just grow means a lot to me. And I'm proud of you guys. You guys deserve every bit of the recognition from top to bottom, like the Neo Moms, the concession crew, the security, Donnie and Nick, everybody. You guys, from top to bottom, you guys are phenomenal. And to see the crowd and the reaction you guys got last night, it was record sales. You guys deserve that. And that made it a 5 alone. But the card, it was a long night, but it was an action-packed night from start to finish. All in all, one of the greatest nights I've been a part of. And life's been kicking me. I know we've all been going through things, and we want to apologize for not posting as much lately, and we're going to get back into that. But, like, yeah, life's been tough. We're all dealing with some stuff. So, like, I needed that. I know, Vince, you needed that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a 5 for me. Best wrestling show I've ever been to in person. And, yeah, leave it at that.
Go ahead, James. What you got?
All right.
This is
Okay, so
James's first rating.
my take isn't bad. I'm trying to think about.
Because they gave it 5s. Just because they gave it 5s does not mean you have to fucking give it a 5. Don't feel pressured by those assholes.
Well, no, just what there's when you work in the business, there's always politics at play. It doesn't matter how much you try to escape it. There always is. And that being said, though, I like to be liked. I try not to step on any toes. Anyway, I can't say it's the best show I've ever seen, only because I think that it would knock any show that I've ever worked on in the past. So I will give it 4.5 pile drivers out of 5. My two drawbacks. There's kind of a third, but I found out the reason for the third, and now it makes more sense. My two biggest drawbacks. So I have two sides of the coin when it comes to the booking. Were almost all of the matches phenomenal? Yes. Were there potentially too many matches, or did some of the matches go too long, which is what made the show 4.5 hours? Yes. So in my opinion, even though I don't know which matches I would cut, I haven't thought that far into it, but I think it was probably about 2 matches too heavy, if you want my honest opinion. Either that or if they're going to have that many matches, some of them probably only need to go 6 or 8 minutes as opposed to 10 to 15 for all of them. So anyway, so that's one critique. I say that with love. For any NEOPro management who's watching, I say that with
Ooh,
love.
he's a hater. He's a
Yeah,
hater.
and this-
Listen to him, Jason. Listen to him. He's talking shit. No.
James, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first shows you've seen as like a fan in a while, right?
Yeah, it is. From a fan point of view, no, I thought it was great. The intermission was very late in the show, but actually earlier on, I was talking with one of the. I don't give away details. I learned that in journalism 101. You don't give away your details, or you don't give away your sources, one or the other. I was talking with someone with NEOPro earlier today. I told him, I was like, man, I thought the rundown was stacked weird for the fact that you guys had 7 or 8 matches before intermission and then only like 3 after. But there is a legit reason. I'm not going to get into it, but they told me why. It makes perfect sense now. I'll leave it at that. So I'm not judging them for that. Now that I know why, I'm not judging them for that. I will say, so I thought 98% of the card or whatever was fantastic. The only thing, granted, I'm not a booker. I haven't been a booker yet, so maybe I don't have any room to talk. But just I do feel, and I'm not being biased towards Ashton Day, but I really feel like they could have had a Cody moment. They could have had a finish the story moment had Ashton gone over. So with Patrick Hayes, as great as the rest of the card was, with Patrick retaining, I think that made the show end flat. I think it left a little bit of a bitter taste in the mouths of some of the fans. I hate to say that, but that's just my honest opinion. So anyway, on a whole,
did you see Ashton's promo he posted before NEOPro about this match by chance?
I don't believe I did.
Okay, because I watched it and it kind of gave me that indication, like the finish the story kind of moment, and it made me want it more than I already did.
Yeah.
So I kind of, if you would have seen that, like I feel like that would have played more of a role in you feeling that way as well. Like if you would have seen it, because it kind of gave off those vibes, like it kind of broke down their history and whatnot, and it was.
Well, I agree, and I said I didn't even see that promo, and I agree. And then dovetailing off that real quick, Dean, dovetailing off that, at the Salem show after Ashton successfully beat Beastman, which actually that may be Beastman's first and only loss here in Neo, is when Ashton beat him. So I mean, huge props to Ashton to doing that. Patrick Hayes comes out, attacks him after the match. Patrick Hayes calls Ashton trailer trash and talks all this other junk. So yeah, I honestly felt like it was just setting up perfectly for Ashton to win. And so when Ashton didn't, as great as the rest of the card was, I think that cinched it just a little bit. So, but anyway, all that said though, I would still give the show 4.5 pile drivers out of 5.
That's solid.
Good shit.
That's solid.
I'm gonna touch on Michelle's comment because we didn't actually. Great fucking moment in the show last night was when CeeLo's music hit. He comes out, works the crowd, and then doesn't do anything else.
I forgot about that. Oh, that was beautiful.
CeeLo with the hype stuff.
I love you for that.
Here.
That was perfect.
So look, and I'm not gonna touch on it. I won't get in. I agree with all your guys' statements. It was a fucking phenomenal show. James said it way nicer than I would have said it. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go with what James said. It felt flat. The ending felt flat because, like I said in the beginning, the whole place wanted Ashton to win. So when he didn't, I understand it's not that this has nothing to do with wrestler here or there. So when he didn't, as a fan base, the fans were like, the fuck? Let's get out of here. Like, and I think it left a bad taste in people's mouth. Again, not my show, I'm here for entertainment, and I was thoroughly entertained. 475.
See,
475, and then my only downside is because of that ending. The ending left the show after a show that was just overblown with excitement and fucking everything else. For the ending to fall flat like that.
I can agree with you, but at the same time, maybe this is why I'm an overthinker. I overanalyze everything, so my ability to put my feelings aside and just like look at things in different perspectives. It's a blessing and a curse, but like right here, like I get that because I wanted Ashton to win. I was upset too. Like when he tapped him, like,
Well,
man,
bro, taking away that I wanted Ashton to win. Like take that out of the equation completely. Take away
but
your
at the same
will.
time,
Take away for your will to want anybody to win. You didn't want anybody to win. You could care less.
you got to give
main event match.
a lot of those
At the
people
end of the
walked
match-
away because of the hate that Patrick gives them. Like he gets heat, major heat. So like at the same time, that's a win for him. That's kind of what he wants. So it's like I'm looking at things from all different perspectives. Yeah, was I like kind of like, man, I wish it didn't end that way. Like what the hell? But at the same time, like people are leaving. And I'm like, from a heat perspective and a heel, like props out to Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Like
see, and I'll have to disagree with you though, because in my opinion,
that's fine.
To get the heat, the people would have had to care that Patrick won and Ashton lost. Ashton lost, and people didn't give a shit. They were like, "Fuck this."
He got so much heat with the NEOPro fans because those people that stuck around with the NEOPro faithful has been there from day one. He's got so much heat with them over time that when they already wanted Ashton to fucking win, and when he didn't, they're like, "Man, F him, I'm out of here."
But again, we've seen him win before. We've seen Patrick Hayes win before, like again with Cole.
Yeah,
we've seen him. I do. I'm not. I will never say that I don't. That's not what I'm saying. But again, take away both my will for either of them to win. The way that the crowd, the aura, the vibe of the crowd after the show was horrible.
Well, but I'm explaining to you why. Like that's because Patrick's built the heat with that crowd. That crowd has been there from day one.
And again, I'll tell you, every time we saw him win a match, that crowd, even if it's at the end of the show, that crowd has never just gotten up and walked away like they did last night. That crowd will stand there and talk shit to him and flip him off and wait for
building up a bit with Ashton's promo and everything. Kind of gave everybody the idea and like, oh, we might need to see a new champ. You know what I'm saying? So everyone's hopes were fucking high, just like mine was.
I'm just telling you, the vibe at the end of this show was different than any NEOPro.
And I'm just explaining to you from a different perspective why the vibe and the reaction was also probably because of what Patrick has done to the heel.
Again, I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm saying that's why I'm giving it the lower rating because it felt off.
Okay,
it didn't feel like the normal NEOPro show.
I'm just trying to I'm showing you a different perspective. Like I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm not disagreeing. I get your perspective. I understand. Patrick's a dick, and he's told the whole fan base he's a dick, and he's cussed everybody out and told little kids to fuck off and all this shit. We've seen it.
Yeah, I'm just saying the way you came off, you're like the reaction was flat, and everyone was like, "Oh man, I'm out of here." But you got to put in consideration of that too as a combination of all. Yeah, does that have a lot of play with it? Yeah, but you got to also. Patrick has brought that heat too, so there's a whole bunch of it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you may not agree with it.
I'm going to jump in, brother Vincent. Jump in with me. I think you and I need to play referee between these two. So let's.
We're brothers. Brothers fight. All right.
Yeah.
So I actually have the. So if everyone's votes are in and my math is correct, which it probably isn't, that means that NEOPro 2. Got an official 4.625 pile drivers.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Again,
that's pretty
it's great. It's great. And I'm not.
Please don't have a domestic dispute over NEOPro mom and dad.
Exactly.
Okay. That's what we love about it. And
again,
it's NEOPro for putting on
it just felt like it, maybe here, and I'm not going to say this because I don't know for sure, but it felt like maybe some of those fans that wanted Ashton to win might not fucking come back. You know what I'm saying? Because again,
I'm not worried about that.
I'm not saying they won't, but I'm saying it could have pissed some, not me, obviously. I'm not that pissed off. I don't hate Patrick Hayes that much, but it could have pissed some people off where he was like, God damn it, I'm so sick of him. I'm so sick of la. Fuck NEOPro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure that may be a case. There's some super fans that are like that. You know what? Let them go because they set records, and I guarantee you there's going to be a lot more new people because that place was packed at one point, and all you need to really do is get them in the door. They can't tell me if they were there for Sandman, all that action leading up to Sandman, not one time they were probably like, damn, this is fucking sweet. They're wanting to come check the next one.
Real quick, if I could, guys, I want to jump in real quick and give some flowers to Neo. Again, on a whole, I did think it was a good show. Also, I'm going to give some flowers to the three of you. So I went to the NEOPro show last month in Salem, which I didn't sit with you guys there. I just got a general admission seat. I was on the opposite side of the building from you guys. I think where I was sitting, I think they had a lot of new fans on that show. So on one hand, it's great. In fact, I think they even started the Salem show late because more people kept coming in. So on that point of view, that's a fantastic problem. That's a good problem for NEOPro to have. The one interesting thing I observed though, and again, so I was at that show just as a spectator too, but I think a lot of the general admission people, either they were unfamiliar with Neo and the storylines and the angles, or maybe, and I've seen this in other places, other cities, other promotions. It's not specific to Neo, what I'm about to say. It's not specific to Salem, what I'm about to say. Some people will go to a local wrestling show just to do something for 2 hours, just to get out of the house for 2 or 3 hours, even if they don't give two craps about wrestling. I have seen that. But I say all that to say this. What was really weird about the section that I was sitting in Salem, a lot of the crowd didn't seem into it, despite the fact that I thought the wrestlers were putting on good matches. I talked with Mike afterwards, and I told him about my experience, how the crowd, as good as I thought the matches were in Salem, the crowd seemed kind of flat throughout. And again, that's not a knock on Neo. So again, if Neo management is watching this, it's not a knock on you guys. I think you just had a bunch of new, unfamiliar fans. Mike, so this is where I'm going to give him flowers. Mike told me, he's like, hey, come to their next show in Canton. Canton is kind of their home base. The crowd is completely different. And so, Mike, brother, you were dead on. I am so glad you told me that. I'm so glad you invited me, and I appreciate all three of you guys letting me hang out and sit with you guys last night.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, just let us know ahead of hand. Well, you can always sit with us. That's no big deal.
I agree. Like the Canton crowd made us showed out, but that was the second time they've been in Salem.
That's only the second time that the show you came to. That was only the second time they had been to Salem. So it's definitely a newer fan base. Them trying to branch out a little bit, so to speak, because it's not that far from their home base. So Salem crowd's good. Nothing against the Salem crowd. That's definitely a TA. That's definitely a TA friendly crowd when you go to Salem. But yeah, the home base at Stark County Fairgrounds always is big. I don't know. I know how it was when you showed up because I had softball with the kid yesterday, and you showed up me and you showed up about the same time, and they had a line. They were packed out. It was great. So I mean, props to them.
Jason, just for the record, last night was the closest we've ever come to starting late.
Yeah. Because they had to give time to everybody to file in the door. So, again, big props to everybody at NEOPro. But let's wrap this up, guys. We've been rolling for a while. Before we get out of here, though, I do want to remind everybody, make sure to get over to Mega Championship Wrestling's Facebook page. Check out Turmoil this Thursday. It is our going home show because on Saturday, Mega Championship Wrestling will be live at Lorain County Community College for Breaking Down Barriers. Big show with the Friends of Murray Ridge. Big event. Your boys will be live. I'm pretty sure I'm doing commentary again. So you can catch me over at the commentary booth with the guy with the bow tie, Josh Jonai. It's going to be a great show. Are you gonna be there too, James? I wasn't sure, so I haven't heard anything.
I'm presuming so. At least that would be my guess.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about you. So I heard the confirmation from the boss that I would be there. So I'm just saying what I know.
I'll be in the crowd.
I'll be there.
Say what's up. It's an awesome event. They work with Murray Ridge. It's important to me. I have a child with Down syndrome. They do amazing things with the Murray Ridge, and I support this 100%. It's one of those shows I look forward to every year. So if you can,
so make sure you get over to Mega Championship Wrestling. I believe it's mcw.yapcity.com. Get your tickets for this show. All your favorite wrestlers will be there. We got big matches. We got battle royales where the winner goes on to face TikTok for the Fighting Spirit Championship. The title's on the line. Alex Daniels defending against the young GOAT Myron Reed. All types of other matches. Make sure you check it out this weekend. And like we stated earlier, we got the card earlier from Tim Cross at RSW. May 11th, RSW will be back in Parma with Face Off. We'll be sure to cover that in the upcoming weeks. And next week, we will be back to recap everything that happened on Mega Championship Wrestling at Breaking Down Barriers. Hopefully, we see you there. I'm the best in the world. These are my boys, the Big
James,
Dog, B-Red, and James. Thanks again for joining us, James. Like Dean said, man, we loved having you on. Definitely appreciate you joining us.
Look forward to sitting with you with some future shows.
Yes,
and
sir.
You're more than welcome to come on anytime, man. We love you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Damn right. We'll see you guys all next week. Everybody stay hydrated.
Like, share, follow us. Come on, we're almost at 1,000 on Twitter. Help us get